All right.
Trying to see if I can get.
I think we're live.
All right. Awesome.
I'm on Facebook as well, and I don't see. I don't see anything. Oops. Let me go home here to see if we're actually on there. Oh yeah, we are. All right. Cool.
Awesome.
Right, we're live and ready to go. I mean, who knows? It might take some time for people to connect. I'm just making sure that it's all ready to go. All right, yeah, we're good. All right, so let's get going. It's been a while since we've connected, and I appreciate talking to you a little bit yesterday. And so let's get right into it. Brandon, I appreciate you being on, taking the time to do this. We're live on a couple different pages, which is kind of cool with this Vidyard or StreamYard, I think it's what it's called. It allows you to be able to simultaneously be on multiple channels live at the same time, which is kind of fun. So why don't we begin? I don't know if a lot of people, obviously they know your name. You're the current mayor right now, but maybe a lot of people don't know about you personally, where you grew up, where you're from, and how long you've been in Eastvale, and those types of things. So why don't you shoot and tell us a little more about that?
Just remember, Nazar, I'm married. It sounds like these are like single questions. So the questions you ask when you're single.
I'm
just I had to throw that in there. No, hey, I'm basically born and raised out in Chino, California. Lived there in Chino for about 30 years, and then lived out here in Eastville about 7 years, right? So, but yeah, just a little bit about me. People that know me, I know I'm pretty outgoing, easy to talk to. Very approachable. I try to be non-intimidating or anything like that. Very, very, just like to. I love having interactions with people, learning about people, what they do, and maybe little things about me. I like soccer a lot. Like all sports, like soccer. I like fitness. Try to stay in the best shape I can.
You can't tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's any specific questions. I don't know if there's any specific questions, but yeah.
So how long have you been married?
We've been married for over 6. It'll be actually 7 years in October.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So basically, when we bought our home, when we bought our home here, we basically bought our home, got married, kind of right. I think we came here about in April of 2013, and then we were married in October of 2013.
That's cool. So you bought it at a good time then. Back in April of 13 was
we did. It worked out. It wasn't like, I think a year earlier would have been probably better, but it worked out really well.
Yep, very cool. And then you've got a little daughter, Penelope. How old is she?
Yeah, Penelope is 5 and she'll be 6 in December. Right now she currently goes to Rosa Parks and she is in TK, transitional kindergarten. So, and then she starts, I guess when school goes back into session, she'll start kindergarten.
That's cool. You guys gonna have any more kids?
Yeah, it's kind of funny you asked. Right now, we're in the process of going through the fostering process. So,
really?
In fact, we're going to show from the backyard. We actually not too long ago just got our fence? Our kind of fence that covers the pool. Our fence put in because you can't foster in order you have to have your pool covered and stuff. So, but yeah, we actually are taking our last and final class. And so what's nice is we're able to do it via Zoom. So we're going to take our last fostering class via Zoom, and then there's a few more little things we got to do, and then we'll submit everything to be foster parents. And the goal is to adopt, and so go through the foster process, go through that experience, and look to adopt. So that's what, that's the goal. So hopefully we'll be fostering relatively soon here.
Wow, that's cool. Why did you guys decide to go down that direction?
Not getting too personal, but we've always talked about it. We've always talked about it for a long time, and we've been trying to have a second child, and this hasn't kind of been in our favor. So we just say, hey, let's exercise that opportunity. Let's do that. We still want to grow our family.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of children that could use a good home and a loving family and a sibling and all the different things of reasons why you would want to adopt, and you can build a place where there's trust and stability. And so we're fortunate enough to be able to offer that to a child. And so that's something we're looking to do.
That's awesome, man. I'm very proud of you for taking on that. I know a lot of people can't, or don't feel comfortable or don't want to, and those that do, I think they're, obviously these kids that are in those predicaments where they need families, parents to be there for them. And that's huge. What's cool. So
go
ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I don't know if I lost you there. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think going to these classes, though, it gives you a realization. It's not there's a lot of kind of rainbows about it, like, oh, it's good you're adopting and it's not, but there's a lot of things that emotionally that the parents will go through along with the children. So it's also for us, these classes and doing those things, it emotionally prepares the parents, and for us it's preparing Penelope too to understand exactly what we're getting into. But we're all about it. We're all in, and we're excited when the opportunity does come.
That's cool. Do you feel comfortable talking about?
I think I lost you there, bud. I can't hear you.
Really? You want to take your earbuds off? Like maybe see if that works.
Let me disconnect from my Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah. I was able to hear you. So while Brandon's getting back online, you guys, if you have any questions to ask him or would like us to discuss.
Nazar, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us fine? Can you hear me okay?
I can't hear you.
Really? Is there a reason? That's interesting that I can hear you, but you can't hear me. Maybe your audio isn't on all the way. You were on mute. I'm going to unmute you. Yeah, it says that your mic isn't connected. So you got to connect your mic if you
can hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
And then I just can't hear you.
Really? That's unfortunate. Do you have a desktop that you could hop on?
I'm going to try logging back out and then coming back in. Sure. All right.
Yeah. What's cool about live, I love it. Yes, he needs better internet service, right? I don't know if it's his internet or if it's his if it's just his connection or his phone or whatever it is. I know that these things work better with the desktop, so I don't know why he was trying to get on his phone to do it. All right, Brandon's back on. Oh, you can hear us now, or he may.
I can hear you clearly. Maybe you can edit all that out so it doesn't, waste too much time in the video. But I know it's live, so that's what it is.
We're live. This is how we're gonna roll with it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Shauna, for
what it is.
If I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she said that Brandon has 2G Virgin Mobile service. We should vote him to get a raise, so he'll be able to get a better phone.
Dude, hey, no doubt, man. I've been trying for a long time, and I'm literally like right next to my router. My router's sitting right next to me. Like I don't know.
You must have a Droid. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, no, I gotta step my game up, man.
Anyway, all right. So let's talk about your work. I don't know if people know about what do you do for work, and with this whole COVID-19 thing. How has it been working from home versus being able to get on the field and do your thing?
And just so we're talking about, we're talking about the work that actually pays me, right?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Not a mayor.
Yeah. So at so Bay Alarm, we're in the security, fire alarm, camera, that industry, and so it's considered an essential service because we're protecting the property and lives of different people and their businesses. And so it's been, for us, it's been, we've had to really learn how to go. Everyone's gone remote for the most part, and there's been a couple key essential people that have been able to stay within the company to, they have to be there, including a lot of our technicians, service installers that actually have to go out to other places to either install something or service a building that needs security. But, for us, the challenges that we've been having, I'm more on the sales side of things. So, for us, it's been a little challenging, but definitely a lot slower. But, what we've been doing with our team is kind of self-improving. So what I've done with my sales team, it's about 20 sales reps and other staff, is just, being as busy as we can possibly getting to know our clients a lot better than we have before, and just self-improving, and taking the time, because there's always times that we want to be better, but we're always busy with work. So now we're actually utilizing the time as a team to get better in our product knowledge, get better in our ability just to maybe improve relationships, not just external relationships with customers, but internal relationships at Bay Alarm. And just really just getting better as sales reps, knowing our base. But the challenge is working from home is like anybody. I mean, especially if you have kids or you have your significant other that's working as well. Like my wife works. She works for the Department of Defense, so she's very busy as well. And so it's definitely a challenge, but we're adapting like everyone else. We're adapting.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So us as a real estate team, we've actually gotten closer together because during this whole thing, we are doing more doubling down on our meetings and connecting with one another and doing happy hours and daily goals. So that's been really fun to be able to connect with each other and that as a business team, and then individually, it's been really fun to be able to connect with our like my kids and my wife a little bit more. So it's been fun that way.
Yeah, and I know, one other thing I was going to say, our goal, we have a goal, right now, my team, we have a very clear goal. We want to be the most prepared, ready to go when this ends and our customers are ready to come back. And most of our customers are still very active. They still need our services, but there's others that are just shut down. Like a lot of our clients we deal with large restaurant chains, and obviously they're not operating. But the point is we want to make sure we are prepared, ready to go, because when the doors open up and those restrictions are lifted, we're ready to go. We're not sluggish. We're not. There's no hangover for us. We're ready to go and get back into business and be the ones that are ready.
Brandon, do you think that that there's more concern for people like breaking in during this time, or do you think we're not in that desperate situation yet?
No, there is. I can tell you, there's a couple products we have where there's outdoor video verification systems. I don't want to get too in the nuances because no one's going to really care. But there's systems that basically capture people, and then the police come immediately to apprehend them. And it's a very fast, it's like real time. And we call it Bay Guard. Our Bay Guard captures we've been jumping up. We just had one last night with one of our really large I won't name the company, but it's a very large air conditioning, HVAC and air conditioning distributor. And they had a break in. And so we were able to capture them, not Bay Alarm physically, but we had a technology to report it to the police. They came immediately and apprehended the people. So we're getting those. I'm getting those video clips every other day. And these are clips that are actually apprehensions. So not just people that are breaking and we're seeing it, but they're actually being caught doing it. And we're getting those probably every other day right now. So there's definitely an uptick in theft for sure. No doubt about it.
That's a shame. And which goes without being said, during this time, there's a lot of good that's coming out and there's a lot of crap that's coming out too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, both of them. So you talked about being in fitness, and we can see by your big bulging muscles there that you like working out. And Brandon and I used to work out for a while together. way back when.
That's right. Hey, you were getting strong, man. No, you were putting up some weight there for a moment there, man.
It's down, unfortunately. But so how do you, like, obviously 24 Hour Fitness is closed, LA Fitness is closed, like all the fitness, all the places have been shut down during this time. And so how are you staying fit? What are you doing? What's your routine? How has it changed from before?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Well, for me, like so every time I work out, it's very dimensional. It's multi-dimensional. It's like, hey, I like to do a lot of cardio, and then I want to get into the lifting and build strength and that type of stuff. The power and strength is really difficult right now. It's really hard to do. But I would say, one of the things that I've been doing, and I've been pretty consistent, is just doing a ton of cardio. I probably ran more than I've ever ran. And I'm doing a lot of kind of like HIIT training exercises. So high intensity type exercises, real quick 20-minute workouts, but you're done. Like, you're exhausted, you're gassed out. And so I'd say my endurance has probably gotten better, and my cardio has probably gotten better. My strength and power definitely has probably gotten down. I'm scared to even lift anything right now. But actually, you know what? I got an example. You want me to show you an example of one?
Yeah.
I won't actually do it, but I'll show you an example. I'll be right back. So I'll do this. We're in my garage. I do this in my garage. I'll give you an example. My buddy Paul Castaneda and Robin Leafblad had taught me this, and so this is a good one in case anybody's watching. This is for everybody. So what I do is it's called the deck of cards, right? So you got basically a normal 52 deck of cards, and then you make yourself a little grid. My writing's pretty crappy, but basically it says hearts is jump squats, diamonds is push-ups, spades is sit-ups, clubs is burpees, right? And the goal, and your face cards are worth 10, and everything else is, and aces are 1, and then everything else is nominal value. So the objective is, if I flip over this card, 8 of clubs, that means 8 burpees. Boom, go. You flip over the next card, 5 push-ups. And the goal is to get through, do as many as you can, but the objective is to finish the whole 52 deck of cards. And then once you get good, you start timing yourself, how fast you can get through it. But that, I'm telling you, that's for everyone, because you can't do a push-up, you can still modify push-up. Mostly people can do burpees, even though it's like the one I hate the most. But push-ups, or sit-ups, you can modify that, and then the jump squats, you can modify that. So this is really, you need nothing but your own. It's plyometric, so it's all just high endurance, high intensity, and anybody can do it in your own home, as long as you have a deck of cards.
Now that's good for cardio, and obviously you work out your muscles with that, though. But what about actually making sure that you're not atrophying your muscles? Because obviously even running, breaks down your muscle tissue as well. So what are you doing to continue to stay?
Yeah, I've lost quite a bit of size, which is fine. I'd rather just be leaner than bigger. So,
yeah.
But I personally, if you're asking me personally, I've basically kind of been on a very much a meat diet. I eat so much meat. I'm not going to say it's a carnivore diet, because I still have my vegetables and fruits, where carnivore diet's just all meat, nothing but meat. But I still have my fruits and vegetables, but I've been eating a lot more buffalo, beef, chicken, a lot of sushi. I actually been eating a lot of elk. Elk's you can get it at Hottinger's out in Chino. Elk's delicious. I'm telling you, it knows it's like beef, but you're eating something a little different, a little special. It's like a sweet flavor. Oh, it's delicious. And it's really good for you. That is very good for you. Same thing with buffalo. Buffalo's really good. Bison's really good for you.
Are they lean meat, or are they fatty?
Very lean. Extremely lean. They are way leaner than your red meats. They're leaner than chicken. So it has a ton of iron, magnesium.
Gamey.
I mean, no, it's not super gamey. I mean, well, at least the ones at Hottinger's aren't that gamey.
Yeah.
No. But it's good. And so yeah, I've just been exploring new things, but yeah, just trying to eat a lot of meat and eat well.
So much weight, easily 7-8 pounds. Freaking 5 week or 6 week, however long it's been now, I've lost track of being stuck at our homes. I'm just so ready to, and obviously I know it's me, but I've got to the habit.
You're a runner. You're a runner, man. Yeah, no, excuse you can put on the mask and go run.
Was a runner. I should be running more, but I'm not. Yeah, so I'm just like I'm like eating 5 or 6, cookies every single day, and so I got to stop that habit. Okay,
It's tough. No, it's tough, man. I'm not gonna say I'm religiously like strict by it. I have my cheat days like I would normally. But as long as I try to get at it and just try to stay active as much as possible, and it's hard. Don't get me wrong; it's really difficult. But but there's a lot of good stuff out there. Like I just gave you one example. There's hundreds of examples you can go on Facebook, on the internet, and just say like in home. You can just put in COVID-19 workouts, and you'll get a list of things.
I have seen an uptick in people buying their own dumbbells and trying to get their own gyms in their garages set up and stuff like that. So that's definitely interesting. So what are you doing to stay sane during this time? Because you like me are extroverts. We're not introverted people, and like I'm going insane not being able to have that interaction with people and connecting and stuff like that. That normally like the gym and work and restaurants would provide you. So what are you doing? Because I'm just like okay, I could only handle until April 15th. That's like my after that I'm gonna explode. But
do you have Netflix or Amazon?
Yeah, and watching movies is okay, but for the love, I need some interaction, and so what are you doing with that? How are you staying?
It's super tough. That's like it kind of goes back with the exercise. Just finding good books to read. Luckily Netflix has came out with so many random good documentaries and movies, and same with Amazon. Most people probably already cashed them. What's that?
If you mention the Tiger King, I'm gonna go nuts.
That's an interesting story, man. No, but there's just a lot of different things you can watch. It's challenging for me. The kind of the silver lining in being the mayor, and for me personally, even though it's been kind of crazy a little bit with trying to stay up to pace with the city and getting in front of it, and that's been a lot of work for me on top of just working at Bay Alarm. So for me, the silver lining in it is that I've been really busy, so I haven't had too much downtime.
That's good.
Which is so my perspective is going to be entirely different than a lot of other people's perspective, where they might have a lot more downtime. But I mean, though I've had downtime, and when I have had it, it's either just reading a book, playing with Penelope or with Dobby, coming up with new fun games. My wife's been very busy with work, so she's been very active, and she's getting her master's right now as we speak. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely challenging. But,
I hope I'm saying her name correctly. It's Shonifer. Do you know her?
Yeah, Sean and Jen. I know Sean. Yeah. So those are good buddies. It's Sean and Jen. So I think they just collaborated a name. Yeah.
Name. Okay. Well, either Sean or Jennifer, or whatever the name.
I'm scared of his question. Honestly,
it's not a question. It's more of a really funny comment. Either he or she.
Oh boy.
Rumors that Brandon is so committed to fighting COVID-19, he sleeps with his mask on.
Not true. Not true. Those things kill my ears, man.
Yeah.
The little strings that wrap around. Oh gosh.
It is not fun to go outside having to wear that thing. I know they have a little thing where you could put it around your head or whatever, but it's still not fun.
No, I need to get one of those for sure.
Yeah. So, what do you think about this whole coronavirus? When do you think we'll be able to get out of it? Do you see that?
Oh man, your guess is as good as mine. If I don't know. I mean, if I was betting, not that I bet on the coronavirus at all. It's so unpredictable right now, but it seems like there's a little more. It feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel in the most recent media releases and news articles where people are talking about possibly doing summer vacations. You hear about things potentially being lifted.
Yeah,
I don't know. The peak is not as bad as it was now. The peak's not. It won't be as bad, and I think that's probably due to social distancing. And that's been in place. California, we've done a fairly pretty good job, better than other states, what it seems like, considering our population as well. I don't know. My hope is that we're talking about restrictions being lifted, and maybe not all of them, maybe there's still little ones. I'm hoping by May we're kind of back at least working, fingers crossed. But I think getting back to normal life, boy, that's going to take some time, because I think there's going to be, in my opinion, there's going to be a hangover of comfortability, right? So let's say the restaurants open up, everything, but I think it's still going to take some time for people to get adjusted to what their normal life is. And there's probably little nuances that we'll never do again as people. So I don't know. It's
like what? What do you think?
I don't know, like we're talking about, is handshaking, if people are going to actually even handshake anymore. And I think that's going to be an interesting thing, and I think we've created a lot more awareness about germs. And I know, Nazar, I know you're kind of a germaphobe guy. You're always washing your hands, which is good practice. You're already ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, if anything, probably not, handshaking, doing things like that. I think I could see that absolutely probably happening, unfortunately.
Yeah. Italy, the reason they spread more is because they do the whole kissing on each cheek, and
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're, social that way. So, it would be interesting. I remember right before this whole pandemic kind of went into craziness, we had a seminar at our office, and the guy that came and spoke at the seminar was the very, very first time where it was, like it was someone new that I had never met before. So we introduced ourselves, and I went to reach my hand to shake his hand, and he didn't. And normally that would be super offensive, right? But I almost, it was like a knee-jerk reaction to shake his hand, but we both kind of just stood there weird, and then we didn't. And then it was the very first time that I met someone and didn't shake his hand, and it was weird, but then I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then from now on, that's kind of been the norm. So it would be interesting if that goes away as a societal norm to imagine all the business meetings and everything else, where you just kind of, come together and be like, hey, how's it going? And then you start your thing. So it's peculiar.
Or the fist bump becomes more popular. I don't know. Even then, I mean, then you're still touching hands. So I don't know, but elbows.
And I can get around that. I'm like, dude, you cough into your elbow. I don't know why you're gonna be touching someone with that. I don't know. So aside from that, so you think that, I mean, obviously you're, you have no clue exactly. You don't have a crystal ball, but you think by end of April or May, you think we'll go back to?
I would say May. I would hope. I would hit that at least restrictions start coming lifted. I would hope, but that's just all it is a hope, man. That's all it is. There's no, and I'd like to, and for the sake of the economy too, I would love for people to get back to work. I'll tell you, man, I've been out with, particularly in Eastvale, with a lot of our local businesses, in particular local restaurants. I went and visited a lot of these restaurants and different businesses. Dude, people are being impacted in huge ways. I mean, people that put their investments and their family retirements into these different things, and their livelihoods are at stake, right? And so, we're doing the best we can to try to help. And our community has been amazing to be able to, I would say the takeout, the Grubhub, the door, that has gone way up. When I talk to these restaurants, like, hey, our sales are going up when it comes to that nighttime, but we're hurting during the day and the morning, And so, and it doesn't compete with when the doors are open, but, thank God for great residents and great community that we have that have really supported our local businesses and local restaurants. Hopefully though, it's enough to keep them to be able to sustain themselves, you know?
And I know that a lot of people are just like, hey, look, I'll buy gift cards right now.
Yeah.
Use them, but at least they'll get, but then I've also heard some people that say that if you buy a gift card, they don't get the cash until you actually use the gift card. So I'm not sure exactly how that process works.
Yeah, the gift card works when you purchase a gift card. That is a sales inflection of that day. So the idea of doing gift cards does help. Yeah, 100%.
Okay, well, cool. So guys, if you're in a community, go buy gift cards to your favorite restaurants if they have them. I know that Mongolian Grill, which I freaking love. It's so good, and it's so healthy, and I got that Mongolian Grill from other places, but man, that place in town is freaking amazing.
Really good spot.
They don't have gift cards. Hopefully they've changed now that they've put them. They have them now, but they didn't before. At least 3-4 weeks ago, they didn't have them.
I'll touch on that. Can you mind if I touch on that one real quick?
Yeah.
So the chamber, our Eastville Chamber of Commerce, we partnered with them to come up with the. I'm sure maybe you saw, but it's the COVID-19 Restaurant Relief Fund in Eastville. And so the question that lies is, well, what about those places that don't have gift cards? Well, the chamber, in partnership with these restaurants, because they're going to basically influx money into there. And by the way, this is kind of a plug. Definitely, if you want to donate money, go to the Eastville Chamber of Commerce website, and there's a tab where you can donate money. And so what they're going to do is when they donate that money, they're going to go buy gift cards at these restaurants. And the ones that don't have gift cards, they're going to create gift cards for them. And they'll be in agreement of it. The hope is that I think every restaurant's being contacted, and I think by and large they've all agreed to that. So we'll be able to create temporary gift cards, and then in lieu, when the chamber purchases those gift cards, they'll send it out to first responders or people that are in need, that need food, and they'll do it through gift cards purchases.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, either you're donating that way, you're going directly to the restaurant and buying the gift cards and using them later, or give them to people. Either way, and that can be a good way to be able to help support local businesses for sure. Obviously, it's important, right? Like you want these 100%. To stay around, so we got to support them as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I mean, we talked about work, we talked about working out, and anything you guys are doing to have a little bit of fun.
Man, I don't know what it is, and I actually should post this because for whatever reason, this staying at home, I don't know why, but I thought more about my childhood or my adolescence than I've ever had before. Like I think about the past. It's weird. Like things I did when I was a kid, and maybe because when this time and periods forced you to be creative with the time that you have. And so I just thought about things like life became a little more simplistic. And I think, I don't know, I went back to my past a lot. And so I'll give an example. One thing we've done with Penelope, there was like a thing where we do like treasure hunts in our I grew up in a cul-de-sac, and coincidentally, like we live in a cul-de-sac now. And we do these things called like treasure hunts where like we give clues and you go one clue to the next. So I just rebranded that and I call it quests, right? So what I do is I'll get like kind of like this, like I'll get like these sticky tabs, right? And I'll put clues on them, and they'll be kind of vague depending on the level of the person you're doing it with. Like your child, if they're 5, like Penelope, I don't make it too hard. But if it's like someone that's older, I make it like a little more anonymous, weird. And so one clue will lead to another location in the cul-de-sac, or maybe in my like, right? So they go around, they find these clues, and there's little prizes in the clues, and then eventually go around, they find the ultimate treasure. So I like to always do it like a medieval thing. So I always do like this proper presentation to Penelope, about how she's going on this amazing, dangerous quest, and she needs to, and then I'll give her first clue, but then the clues, like she has to go to the place, right? That leads her to that clue. And then there's the clue to go to the next clue, and so on and so forth. And that kind of stuff's fun. Like it's creative. So I don't know, stuff we did as a kid, like kind of nerdy, fun stuff that I really like. And so, I'm like doing it now with Penelope, and it's fun. She loves it. She asks me every day, like, "Hey, can we do another quest? Can we do another quest?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's get it going."
That's cool. So I've heard, a lot of memes out there right now. One meme is there's gonna be a lot of, COVID-19 babies that are gonna be born in 9 months. And then you also hear that there's gonna be a lot of divorces that are gonna come out of this because people are, staying together. And so, what advice would you give people? I know you're not a psychiatrist or anything like that, but what advice would you give to connect with your spouse, but also give them that time to be able to be separate so they can have their own space?
Well, I'm assuming April's going to watch this, so I might need to cater my answer a little differently. She's going to be like, "Man, Brandon, you're BS, man. You're full of that." No, I will say this, and I'll say this: definitely, relationships will be challenged during this time. And I think honestly, and any of you could ask April. I think we've done pretty good. Like I said, things have slowed down. You got to be creative. Find things that you guys connect with. It would be my thing. Just find things you connect with. If there's a particular show, if there's a book or something you do as a family, a game, a board game. Board games. In my family, though, board games can get intense, so you got to be careful with that. Yeah. That actually may cause the fight. But board games or things that you just, life's simple. Life is succinct. So I would say enjoy what you have. in this simple life that you have, and be creative, and just, have a lot of patience. Everybody's patience is going to be tested in various ways. So whether it's with your significant other or your spouse, or sorry, your kids, it's going to be very much tested. So not really much of advice other than just be patient. You're going to have to, and then, hey, and if you need to get a breather, put a mask on and go run, go for a walk, do something, because you can still, you're able to still go and do that. If you need to get a breather, go out as a family and do that. Right. You would take the right precautions though when you go do that. If you feel like you're cooped up in a confined space. So, that's basically my 2 cents on that. I don't know if that was really good advice or not, but that's gonna.
I think what's important to realize, at least with family, I've been married for almost 20 years now, and like we have our routines, and we're creatures of habit. And so when our routines are disrupted, as they have been with this virus, you're gonna have to reset what your expectations are, right, of your spouse. Because normally, if you're out working, your wife's working, or she's at home and you're out working, you don't see each other 12 hours a day, right? And so, acknowledging that it's okay to be able to be apart, even though if you're in the same house, and do your thing, and then setting time to be able to build those relationships and connect with one another is absolutely paramount. Because if you don't, then you're going to hate it, right? You're going to hate life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're spot on with that for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to do this call. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else you'd want to talk and let people know about. I'm really, really hoping that this thing, even though it's been good to do a little bit of a reset. I hope as a nation, as a city, as a world, people, humans in general, we come out of this stronger and better than we definitely went going into it. That's for sure.
Yeah. You know what? I do want to touch on that. I think this is such a unique circumstance, but also an opportunity, right? When anytime there's challenges or struggles that are in people's lives, always recognize that there's an opportunity to grow out of this. And I think this is an absolute opportunity. And I'll kind of just share I won't share an example, but I'll just share kind of what I've been privy to see a lot in the last couple of weeks, more than probably most people have been able to see, as far as interaction in the community. And a lot of it was before a lot of these restrictions came out. Now it's difficult to get out in front of anybody. But before you had to wear masks, before you had these social distancing, there was the issue of the coronavirus, right? And there's a lot of sadness. I mean, we've had 2 losses in our city. And it's affected a lot of people, and people process those losses differently. And so just be mindful of maybe your friends or your family, maybe of how people process things. People might not process the way you process is the way how I process things, right?
Sure.
And just be mindful of that. But out of these difficult times, and there's a lot of there's a lot of negativity that comes out of it. But I mean this, like, there's way more positive, way more good out of this than there is negative. I can't tell you how many people in our community, hundreds, and I mean hundreds of people, have been able to give to people that don't have, or they just can't get toilet paper because it's impossible to get toilet paper. Right now it's a little more accessible, but you can't get it, right? And so people are like, well, hey, I have extra, I'll give you. And then people are just, there's like this exchange. It's almost like there's this exchange going on of helping, and no one's charging anybody anything. There's the relief fund, and people are donating to that. I know that there's been anonymous donors that have donated to restaurants outside of the relief fund. Just straight anonymous, like, hey, we want to give this to this person. It's $1,000 to a particular restaurant because of the service they provided. There's just hands over fist stories after stories. People that are going to help someone else's house, again, before all the heavy restrictions, to fix something because a person elderly couldn't fix something that's really crucial for them and for their living, right? There is just a lot of things that are going on, and I want us to all recognize that. But also, this is a time where innovation occurs and creativity occurs, right? I think that the example of like Tesla and GM coming together to build ventilators, right? Shutting down their manufacturing. I mean, like, that is a time where we can innovate. And there's time. And then on a small level, I'll just say for our own city hall, I'm going to plug in the mayor's hat real quick. But our city hall, we I just kind of did a post last night, but we've been able to take our entire city hall and basically go remote in 48 hours from the time, this is probably 3 weeks ago. We did it in 48 hours. People are stepping up to the challenge, becoming better. We're finding, like, we come to find out, hey, remoting isn't that bad. There's actually some efficiencies in it. And so I think things are going to come out of this. We're going to be a much better individual as a workforce. So I just think there's so much that we're learning from this and growing from it. I would just say step out of that fear box and find ways to be able to grow yourself in this time. So that's kind of my 2 cents. And I do want to go out because I know this has been very positive, uplifting, but I also don't want to take light of the fact that there's a lot of people that are affected by it. There's a lot of cases in our city that people have been affected by it. There's going to be more cases, right? And again, we've had two deaths as well. And so just be mindful of those things, of those families and those friends and the people that are connected with those individuals in our community. It's a sad moment as well, but we still have to rise above it, and we still gotta keep our heads up,
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that we don't want to have broken is hope, and we can instill and have hope that things are going to get better, things are going to go back to some type of normalcy, whatever that is. What that new normal is going to be when we get out of this. I mean, I think it's interesting. I remember back. I'm sure everybody that as an adult can remember where exactly they were when they heard the 9/11 events that took place, way back when. And, things changed since then, right? And I'm sure that there'll be new normals or new changes that will take place because of this as well, of just, policies and procedures at, all walks of life and all different places that will happen. But it is what it is. We are resilient, humans, and we'll come out of this hopefully stronger.
Yeah. I feel like, no, well said. I will say. If anything, I've always said this, I think the most primitive feeling is human connection. Like that is, I think in its essence, human connection is one of the most primitive feelings, right? And so I think what's happened is if you look in more of the deeper conscious of a person, when they're struggling or they're having the hard time of staying in, what they're really saying, in my opinion, like they're struggling to get out into the open, or I wish I could be at this restaurant, or I wish I could go here, or I wish I could do this, or I wish I could be with this person. What they're really saying is, I want a human connection. I want interaction with people, right? With multiple people. And I think in itself, that's what people are really struggling from. It's just my 2 cents on that, but I know we're kind of going down a deeper road, but I think the value of really interacting and communicating physically with people, I miss it. Like I absolutely miss it,
Well, and obviously there's a lot of ways in which you can at least somehow fill that gap, that void. I know a lot of people are doing Zoom hangouts and playing games online with people, interacting that way. I know my kids are playing their games where they're still connecting with their friends, even though they don't physically see them. They're still at least making that connection with them and getting that fill. So it's out there, and there's ways to connect with people without physically be with them. So, all right, bud, it was good to talk to you again,
dude. Absolutely, man. We got to hang out soon, man. It's been a long time, man. So hopefully we can get back and go get some lunch, maybe get a workout or something.
Yes, that'd be nice. Again, that Mongolian barbecue is definitely one of my favorites. Now I even like it more than sushi, honestly, which is kind of crazy.
I don't know about that, man. I love Hawaiian barbecue, but I love sushi, man. I love sushi, man.
Sushi is definitely good. All right, but well, there's no other questions. There's some people like Nick Fong and Melissa that have chimed in, said hello. So I'm going to give some shout outs to them. But other than that, I'm sure people will ask. If they ask additional questions on here after the fact, then I'll send you those questions and you can reply, or I guess you can just hop online and do it yourself. So yeah,
100%. I'm open. Feel free. If anyone wants to ask questions, I'm always available. So if you get them, just send them my way, and or we can do another video or whatnot. Or either way, it doesn't matter. I'm good with it.
Cool. All right, brother. Have an amazing weekend. Talk to you later.
All right. You too. Take care, my man. Bye.